last two examples I have for you, we're just going to find the list of possible zeros. We're not actually going to go through the process of finding the zeros. So let's do this function. F of x equals 10x to the fourth minus 3x cubed minus 29x squared plus 5x plus 12. So let's see if we can find our list of possible zeros that we would try. Whoops, apologize. So there's the function, and we want to find the list of possible zeros. So I'm going to find the factors of this number divided by the factors of this number. Notice this one's different now because I'm actually going to have factors of 10. So the factors of 12 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 12, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4. The factors of 10 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 10, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5. So I have a lot more dividing to do this time because this number down here is not just 1. So I'm going to kind of cycle through. I'm going to start by just doing this number first. I'm going to divide everything by that number and see which ones I come up with. 1 divided by 1 would give me 1 and negative 1. 2 divided by 1 would give me 2 and negative 2. 3 divided by 1 is 3 and negative 3. I would have 4 and negative 4, 6 and negative 6, and 12 and negative 12. So I've exhausted all the options when I divide by 1. So now I'm going to go through and take each one of these numbers and divide by 2. 1 divided by 2 would be 1/2 and negative 1/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and that's already on my list, so I don't need it. 3 divided by 2 would be 3/2 and negative 3/2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, it's already on my list. 6 divided by 2 is 3, that's already on my list. And 12 divided by 2 is 6, and that's already on my list, so I'm done with 2. Now I have to go through and divide everything by 5. I would have 1/5 and negative 1/5, 2/5 and negative 2/5, 3/5 and negative 3/5, 4/5 and negative 4/5, 6/5 and negative 6/5, and 12/5 and negative 12/5. I'm glad I don't have to do guess and check on this one. All right, the last one would be everything divided by 10. So I'd have 1/10 and negative 1/10. 2/10 is the same thing as 1/5, so I don't need that one. 3/10 and negative 3/10. 4/10 would be the same thing as 2/5, and that's already on my list. 6/10 would be 3/5, that's already on my list. And 12/10 would be 6/5, and that's already on my list. So you can see on this one, there are a lot of possibilities for zeros. It could be any of those. So we're not going to go ahead and find the zeros, we're just going to make our list of possibilities. Okay, let's do one more where we make our list of possibilities. Here's the function. F of x equals 15x to the fourth minus 68x to the third minus 7x squared plus 24x minus 4. So let's make our list of possibles. If I were you, I would pause the video, try it myself, and then come back and check my work. All right, we're going to do the factors of this number divided by the factors of this number. The constant term divided by the leading coefficient. The factors of 4 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 2. The factors of 15 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 15, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5. So I'm just going to start through and start making my list. I'm going to start with 1. I'm going to divide everything by 1. So 1 divided by 1 is 1 and negative 1. 2 divided by 1, 2 and negative 2. 4 divided by 1 is 4 and negative 4. So I'm done with that one. Next, I'm going to divide each of these by 3. So 1/3 and negative 1/3. 2/3 and negative 2/3. 4/3 and negative 4/3. That one's done. Now I'm going to divide everything by 5. So 1/5 and negative 1/5, 2/5 and negative 2/5, and 4/5 and negative 4/5. So 5 is done. And then I have 1/15 and negative 1/15, 2/15 and negative 2/15, and 4/15 and negative 4/15. So you can see we have quite an extensive list of numbers that we could try. Again, if I was actually finding the zeros, I would go back and use my graphing calculator to give me a good place to start.